The Digimon reference book describes Phoenixmon as having the ability to cleanse any Digimon of evil with just a touch of its feathers. It goes on to describe Phoenix X as having a divine aura that keeps evil Digimon away from it. In a meta filled with Megidramon, Purple Hybrid, and other dastardly decks, I thought it best to try using this cleansing effect to the best of its ability at Top Cut Regionals in Roanoke, Virginia. Historically, Phoenixmon was always played with Biyomon and Birdramon as its lower end. But now, with the release of BT21 and the new Guilmon and Graumon, Guil-Base is the definitive way to play birds going forward. First, I'm going to cover my deck list, and then I'll go over the event and the matchups I had in it. If you aren't interested in seeing my deck list and just want to see me talk about the event, this will be the timestamp for that. Starting the list with our eggs, we're running 4 EX2 Gigimon. All we really need is a red egg named Gigimon, and sometimes the draw comes up, so it's the best in slot. 4 BT21 Guilmon gives us raw card draw and memory on deletion, which we will then be able to double up later on Phoenix X. 4 EX8 Guilmon X gives us more search for our Growl pieces, and also will refund us memory when we delete an opponent's Digimon. Rounding out the rookies, we have 2 EX4 Guilmon, which are here to gain rush and push for game quicker. 4 BT21 Graumon are here so that we can gain more memory on deletion, kill small bodies, and fill up the trash. And as a way to get into the best card in the deck, are 4 copies of EX8 Graumon X Antibody. This card does everything. It draws, it fills up the trash, it spits an extra body out, and it refunds memory. All these effects add up to a completely broken card that I'm of the belief that needs to be restricted. Lastly, rounding out our level 4s, we run 1 copy of EX3 Graumon to serve as an extra consistency piece, and also an extra way to self-delete. For our ultimates, we're running 4 EX1 Garudamon here to let us consistently keep turn when attacking a player, thanks to the gaining memory. And then our main ultimate, the thing that makes this deck really work, is 4 copies of BT16 Garudamon X. This card is crazy for several reasons. Its recursion is great for consistency. Its ability to pop 8k DP or less can kill most floodgates or delete most level 5s. Its ability to give rush speeds the deck up significantly, letting multiple stacks attack a turn and push for game sooner. And its non-once per turn inheritable to trash the security on deletion means you have to interact with the security so much less than you normally would. The way we go about triggering all these on deletions multiple times in a turn is our 3 copies of Phoenixmon X Antibody from BT16. Its effect turns on deletions into end of attacks when you have Phoenixmon or Protoform underneath it. This card goes crazy. It's our maiden boss monster. It lets us speed up extremely, lets us kill most decks by turns 4 to 6. To help with consistency, I run 2 BT15 Phoenixmon to help play out more bodies, but also to increase the chance of Phoenix X having the source required to get to its end of attacks. 1 copy of Promo Gallimon helps self-delete our Phoenix, while also giving another card to rush for game in clutch scenarios. 1 copy of EX8 Medieval Gallant lets us control the board and answer bigger Digimon that we otherwise wouldn't have an answer for. It also helps in a lot of matchups that play out Digimon, and it helps floodgate several decks. Onto the consistency pieces, we run 3 BT9 Coolboy to help us search for more protoforms and our X antibody line. It also has the ability to refund memory and give us more draw in later turns. 4 Offense Training serves as the main search card for the deck, and 3 Red Memory Boost help find targets even more. 2 Gravity Crush acts as a turn extender, helps win matches off of randomly keeping turns, and this is another card I believe should be restricted and not be allowed to have more than 1 copy. 1 copy of Red Scramble serves us to reduce the cost of evolving while also letting us set up for later in the game with recursion and maybe free Digimon. The final cards in this list are 3 copies of X Antibody Protoform. It's what lets us get Phoenix X's effects more consistently while also being an insane recovery and recursion tool. This list is super standard, but it's able to seal games quickly and consistently. Now, let's talk about the event as a whole. I drove 6 hours from Jersey to my friend's house in Richmond the day before the event. We ended up practicing a little bit beforehand just to get some muscle memory with the decks we were playing. I had not played the deck a ton in paper beforehand, so it was important that I started warming up the day before. Then that morning, the drive home was 3 more hours to get to Roanoke. My anxiety at this point was through the roof, and usually when I'm super anxious I'm unable to eat anything. But somehow, a place called Ernie's served me some eggs and toast that I was actually able to eat and get energy for the event. We walk in, get our participation prizing, and I end up meeting a bunch of people, some of whom I knew beforehand, and some of whom I have never met in person before. Shoutouts to everyone I saw in Roanoke. If I saw you there, shoutouts to you. After hanging out with my friends and trying to calm my anxiety, I paired round 1 to a guy with Alphamon sleeves, an Alphamon mat, an Alphamon memory counter, and an Alphamon memory gauge. I felt mogged by his dedication to his favorite deck, and my lack of courage to bring Machine Dramon to this event. More specifically, he was playing Chronicle. In Game 1, I unfortunately did not get to see him do anything because he bricked so hard he literally scooped on turn 3. Game 2, he was able to get a stack on board quickly. It's extremely hard for Phoenix to get around the threat of where you can ace, so I lose pretty decisively. In Game 3, however, I see the gas, and I'm too quick for him to be able to find the ace, so he hard slams Oriyamon for 11, hoping to save himself. Unfortunately, giving Phoenix a ton of memory makes it really easy OTK, and I secure my round 1 victory. As a player, my biggest hurdle for my ability to play is how easily my mental state is changed. This means that round 1 was extremely important for me in deciding where I will be mentally for the rest of the day. In all events I've ever placed well in, I win my first few rounds and I keep that momentum going the whole time. Every time I have lost the first round, I have been unable to get the momentum back. This tournament was going to go well. 1-0. Feeling good about the last round, I sit down for round 2 and I'm worried that the luck I had in round 1 will be punished in round 2, but thankfully that is not the case. My opponent is on Dominimon/3 Good Angels. Game 1, he gets a turn 3 Domini out that plays out a Magna Angemon, which searches its security and involves an Erasio, but it's not enough to stop how aggressive my deck is. Game 2, he plays out an Angemon Ace off of Dominimon, and I have to delete it 4 or 5 times in order to burn all the security. I did feel bad because I did not let him play the game almost at all, but it's what must be done for victory. 2-0. My opponent for round 3 was a really nice Dark Animal Engine player. Me and him were chatting it up before the round started, and once it did, he seriously bricked. My starting hand was not very good, enough so that I took a picture of it, but this hand was still much better than his. Game 2 was a similar story, although he did get into Lord Knight X once. It was just too late to really matter. 3 wins back to back was making me feel really, really good, and we were given an hour lunch break between rounds 3 and 4, so we all rushed into a McDonald's and became filled with a bunch of Digimon players who all wanted McNuggets, me included. 3-0. Round 4 was the first time I was mashed into a deck that I considered to be a top deck of the format. My opponent was on Purple Hybrid, and this was a matchup I had not practiced nearly enough. Game 1 I lost purely off of Ukamon Rush. He kept losing Ukamons back to back faster than I could handle, and then went into Dusk into Superior mode for game. Game 2 and 3 he was unable to find one half of the hybrids. No Velgrin in Game 2, no Dusk in Game 3. I was able to secure the set. Almost half of the tournament had gone by at this point, and I had not lost a single set. For some people, this may have given them a sense of confidence or of security. For me, this fact only heightened the intense anxiety I had been feeling that day. I knew that the streak couldn't last forever, and this anxiety serves as an important background to my round 5 set. 4-0. In round 5, I was matched against a blue-green Imperial Drum player with a very unique list. He was running a heavy count of Medieval Gallant as well as at least 2 Safagamon Aces to evolve off of them. In Game 1, I take a lot of care to prevent my opponent from acing me, and I take advantage of the practice I had against the deck to know that Medieval Gallant is super important in the matchup. Unfortunately for me, on the turn I was prepared to win the game, I swung the 6-second last security and hit a full moon meteor impact and was unable to recover. I felt safe swinging because most Imperial Drum players do not run any security bombs, but this player was clearly an exception. In Game 2, I played to my outs, as well as attempting to play safer on the security and was able to secure the game. In the middle of Game 3, I start to panic. The anxiety of being on table 1, of being 4-0, and of being surrounded by 5 to 7 people made me struggle to see the optimal plays clearly. Then, I hear time called. I don't want to tie, not at all. So I play very aggressively and overextend because my hand is missing a few key cards that it would have needed to win that turn. I pass to him. Once I've passed, there's nothing I can do, and he cleanly gets the win. And it's immediately after I lose that I realize my mistake. If I just return Medieval Gallant to my hand, he has no way of winning that turn, and when it comes back to me, I'll be able to effectively clean up the win. I also realized the time had not been called for us. It had been called for the Dragon Ball event taking place at the same time. But in the moment, I had no idea. These 2 facts broke me. To lose off my own ability as a player, failing in such a clear and obvious way hurts. I had learned this specific matchup very well, and I had knew that I needed to prioritize Medieval Gallant, but the anxiety I was feeling made me unable to see the lines I had carved out for myself. It was then that the anxiety converted to tilt. I was pissed off because I knew I had lost that match and not my deck. 4-1. This tilt would carry me into the next round against Gallantmon X Antibody. In Game 1, I completely dead drew. I had nothing to do. I searched so much, but still could not find a single level 5 to save my life. The tilt worsened. And in game 2, the same thing happened again, except this time I couldn't find a single level 4. I really appreciate my opponent being a chill guy, because at this point, I was a complete dick and pissed off. I packed up my stuff extremely quickly and went to the back of the tables to put my head down and try to reset myself at least a little. This sort of worked. 4-2. Thankfully, I was able to run into a nice person again, and this guy was playing Red, Purple, Imperial Dramon. Unfortunately for him, I drew the gas, and was able to quickly win both games with only a little bit of resistance. This had freed my mental, and I was able to regain the confidence I had lost, but this makes me wonder, had I run into a harder matchup, was I going to be able to break that tilt? The issues I have with mindset anxiety are almost certainly the things that are holding me back from becoming a better player, and serve as a direct opposition to me in longer tournament runs. This tournament helped me realize that more than ever, so now I have a clear goal to work towards improving. 5-2. In the penultimate round of the event, I was matched into someone playing puppets. I did not play against this matchup at all in practice, and I did not know what half of the new cards from EX9 did. In game 1, they were unable to find a level 6 Digimon before I was able to fully set up and go, and in game 2, they got to Kaguyumon with little guys on board, ready to do what Puppets wants to do. Phoenixmon, however, does not give a damn. I sped my way through the board, was able to clear it and win the game without my opponent being able to effectively stop me. 6-2. Going into this round, I was ranked at 15th. A win would guarantee my Nationals invite, and be the first time since March of last year that I was able to top an event. I was sitting diagonal to my friend Kevin, and we were the last 2 people in our group to have a chance to top it. My opponent comes over, again, a super nice person, and we begin our match. It is then that it is revealed. He is on Adventure. Adventure feels like by far my worst matchup with the top decks in the format. My beacon of hope in this matchup is that I am just straight faster most of the time. But today, my deck did not agree with this outlook. In game 1, I managed to play 2 cool boys, 2 red trainings, and a red member boost, and I am completely unable to find my pieces and make it out to the full combo. In game 2, I make the full combo, but not fast enough to stop him from playing out several level 5s and having the float option set up. It's extremely hard for Phoenix to clear this board state, but at the very least, the deck is good at bouncing back. This was not, however, a time when I could bounce back. My hand had 9 cards, 3 of which were Digimon, and 6 of which were options. And with this hand, in this board state, it was over. 6-3. I ended up placing 29th out of 265, which earned me finalist prizing. It's sad to think that I was so close to securing a Nationals invite, but honestly, I can't be upset with my performance at this event. I haven't had a performance that's even decent since July of last year when I got 48th at an event with Machine Dramon. To break that chain and actually do well at a tournament is really relieving. I missed signups for events in the near future, so likely I won't have any official Digimon tournaments until store regionals come back in November. So for now, it's time for me to prepare for my next event, a Pokemon event. See y'all at Pittsburgh Regionals.